Hello everyone, this is Charles BridgTec with another flashlight review, this time from Lumintop. Now this here is their GT3, comes in this box. Now I was sent this by Banggood.com. They wanted me to test and review this light. This is cool white. Let's wait no further, let's open it up, see what's in. And we have a user manual. And you can do some customizations on the UI. Multi-languages. One lanyard. Pretty good size. And you get 4 O-rings. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the light. There it is. About the size of a soda can. A little bit thicker here at the head, of course. Like this pineapple knurling on the sides here and on the tail. Nice, thick heat sinking. It does have this lanyard ring. You can remove that if you don't want to use that, or you can attach the lanyard here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Also tri-mount this as well. It does rotate around a little bit. Blue bezel here on that, looks good. Got the bunny rabbit there on the side switch. A little blue ring around that as well. Easy to hold. Relatively compact, but it's pretty thick because it runs 4 18-650s. You can table stand that if you need to. Style and design on this is very nice. Now the way this is set up is probably going to lean more towards the flood side. Now depending on the reflector and the LED setup here, may have a hot spot to give it a little bit more throw, but probably going to lean more towards the flood. No sharp edges on here. Machining and finish on this is very nice. Not seeing any issues. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look here. I have to remove this. stick into my finger there. Take a look here at the textured reflectors. Now this is running three XHP 70.2 LEDs. Alright, so now let me go ahead and take this apart. I'll show you the insides. There's a lot of grease here on the threads, as you can see, and the O-ring. Now this plate here does spin around, and it's identical to the one inside the light on the head. Okay, so now let me grab the batteries I'm going to be using, which are the Samsung 25Rs. Now these here are 2500 milliamp. They are 20 amp cells, unprotected. They are very powerful. One of my second favorite batteries of all time. These have a lot of kick, and they should provide plenty of power for this light. OEM cell, flat top, buy OEM whenever possible, unless your application cannot run them or they're too short. You know, that does happen. Now we're going to go ahead and get it all back together. There's no way that you can mess this up because of the way the grooves are. When you go to put it on, it only goes on one way. And now let's go through the UI. UI is pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and turn that on, and you're going to press and hold that to go down. Now the ramping is very fast, but it is accurate. And it does slow down towards the lower light outputs. Oh, that's a lot of lumens here. Let me lower it down just a little bit here. Show you the beam. As you can see here, what I was talking about, it's going to have a large hot spot, tapered spill. You can see there on my hand. Now the further you get back, the larger that hot spot gets, so it's going to still lean towards the floody side. Now on any light level, whether it be the lowest to the highest, you can double click to get turbo. That is extremely, I can feel the heat. My hands, this amazing light output. And now we're going to go ahead and lower it back down. Now turbo is not made to be running on the highest output continuously. This will cycle down automatically to keep it somewhat where you can hold it, otherwise it'll get too hot and not good for the electronics and the light as well as the batteries. So now if you want to change to stepping, 1, 2, 3, now we're on stepping mode. You can see the lowest light output there, barely visible. Highly recommend that you run only unprotected cells in this because of the power requirements that this light has. And then you can simply, now if you do just press it one time, it'll only cycle between the one that you have it on now and the one above. Double click again, get your turbo from any light output there, and we'll go back down. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to ramping. because that's what I'm going to use. 1, 2, 3. Now we're back on ramping and we're ready to go. Now from off, you can click this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That locks out the light, so now it will only blink on the lowest light output there. 1, 2, 3, 4 brings the light back on. Now you're back in business. From off, 1, 2, 3, we'll get you battery check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.1 volts on those batteries because I just charged them. Now if you click this, that will stop it, otherwise it'll keep doing it. And from off, 1, 2, we'll get you turbo instant access. Click it 1 time, turns it back off. Now if you do want to get into the special modes, we're going to go through them now. Now you can fully program this light to whatever way you want, but we're going to go over the basics right out of the box to get you started. 1, 2, 3, and hold. Now you have what they call candle mode. And you can raise that light output or lower it. Now this does best if you have it in a corner, white wall corner, or if you have a diffuser on it, that will really help out the effects. That's what that looks like. Very realistic. Now we want to continue through the special mode. We're going to double click. We'll get you what they call bike mode. So if you want to use this on a bicycle, you can. And you can intensify that light output as well. Camera's not really picking it up too well, but it does have a pulse there. There we go. And it's still not really picking up the pulse. There we go. That's basically what it looks like on all the light outputs. And we're going to double click again. We'll get you what they call a party mode. Now you can intensify this where it real quickly pulsates, which camera doesn't really do it any justice here. So we'll lower it back down. Kind of give you the idea. It really starts to flash rapidly there. Interesting mode. 1, 2, we'll get you what they call a tactical strobe, which is extremely distracting and on the full light output. Crazy. Double click again. Now this here is what they call a lightning mode. So it stimulates a thunderstorm with lightning, only without the sound. Now my wife and I, we really enjoy this particular one mode here because of the fact you don't have the sound, which she is deathly scared of the storms, especially thunder. No adjustments on this level. That's basically what it does, and it is fully random. So you're never going to see the same thing. It's amazing. I love this mode. Now if I were to double click again, goes back to the candle mode. Click that 1 time, turns it off. Now you do have momentary, but if you want to set the light output for momentary, you got to do it before you do the setup. So we're going to turn it on. We'll raise it up to about right there. Shut it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that light output is all that will come on, and it's momentary, like a pressure switch. Now to get out of that momentary, you want to go ahead and completely break the connection from the batteries, just like that. Now we're back on and we're ready to go from there. So now I'm going to show you the side switch there is glowing, a little rabbit there. Now that is also a battery level indicator as well. And we turn that off. And that's all there is to this light. Those basic modes right out of the box you can do with these, just like I showed you. Also make sure you keep your manual handy. They also do have them online, so if you do mess up, it's not quite the way you want it, you can factory reset this light as well, right back the way you got it in the beginning. So nice solid build quality on this. Definitely a rugged little light here, what they call the soda can size lights, and these are still quite popular, not only because of their brightness of course, but they are very easy to carry. Alright, well let's wait no further, let's take this outside, see how it does in the wilderness. We are out here in darkness with the Lumintop GT3. Let's go ahead and get started. It is on the lowest setting, as you can see. Great for up close and personal. There it is on the fence. Have an idea there. All right, we're going to raise it up a little bit, see how it does. Beam has come alive. 65 feet there to those trees there. "35 feet to that water spout from where I'm standing." And faintly making the tree of life there, 138 feet at this light output. We're going to raise it up a little more, see how it does. Huge spill area, nice large hotspot. Definitely want to use a quality cell in this light, 4 of them that is. And do a beam profile, so how wide that is. Way up behind my hand. Raise it up a little more. Wow. Easily seeing across the park. Still got a good hot spot on there. It's large. Making 238 feet there now behind this tree of life. Now it's not going to have huge range on this light, but it's definitely going to be a large area at once that you'll be able to illuminate. Alright, well let's do turbo here so you guys can get an idea. We'll go up to the highest level there. Wow. Turbo. Now this thing does heat up pretty quickly, so we'll cycle down. He's making those palm trees there. Do a before and after here, kind of give you an idea. Now it has cycled down a little bit, as you can see there. So we're going to do turbo again, but over here. You guys can get an idea across the park. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Crazy bright. Cycles down. It will run at about 2,000 lumens without step down. So that's impressive. We're going to end it here with turbo. Remember, it's not recommended that you run it at this high output continuously, but it does have built-in protections should you forget, like I do myself sometimes. Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those night shots. This thing here did very well. Just a huge wall of light. I call it a sheer wall of light because this thing, the beam is so wide and a large hotspot relatively up close expands out, so you're getting a little bit more throw out of this beam. But mainly just a huge flood beam. Definitely something that's going to light up a huge area at once, all in the palm of your hand. That much light coming out of here is truly impressive. Now running turbo will cycle down pretty quickly, which is to be expected on this type of light, not only because of the size but also the power requirements. And battery technology is falling a little behind, so hopefully that'll catch up and we won't have too many issues with power being a lagging point on these flashlights. But for now, you can use medium or high. If you're using the stepping, kind of get a little bit better idea. I like the ramping. This thing here ran 2,000 lumens without any issues. That's plenty of light, especially floodlight. And if you use either the Samsung 25R, you can use the LG HG2, which are 3,000 milliamps, going to give you a little more power. But just remember, the more milliamps you have, the less amps it's going to be. So you can't have the best of both worlds when it comes to battery power at this point. I put the lanyard on here because this is kind of on the heavy side, so if you do accidentally drop it, it's only going to go there. Now, I don't use lanyards on my smaller lights, but on these particular lights, especially if you're carrying them after a while, definitely want to have some extra protection to protect your light. Only downside I see of this kit, I wish it came with a holster or an option to be able to get one, but at this point I didn't see one on their website, so hopefully that will come in the near future. And a holster, you know, carrying it on your side as a backup light, especially if you're doing a lot of exploring. A lot of people like these lights because they show, just like I said, if you're inside wherever you're at, it's going to show a huge area out to the side and as well as up in the air and on the ground, which is just really a nice way to be able to see your environment, especially if it's pitch black. If you're inside a building, this really shines as well. So this is good for both indoor and outdoor, so that's another big plus. Again, build quality, not seeing any issues with this. To me, this is top notch, especially the looks. I really like this design. as well as the pineapple knurling here, certain areas on the light, really kind of makes it stand out. UI is definitely nice, fully programmable. You can do what you want with it. That's another big plus. I don't normally get into lights that deep, but I have tried it a few times and it can be difficult. So it's kind of trial and error, but once you get it set up the way you want it, you kind of memorize to what you've set it. It's really a neat little feature that not everybody will like, but a lot of people do, especially us flashaholics. So I want to thank Banggood for sending me this to review. Now, if this is something you are interested in getting, I will leave a link down in the description to my 2 online stores. Also post that up on the screen for you there. That way you can head over there. My coupon is at the top of the page. Click on that. We'll automatically copy it. That way when you go to checkout, you can paste it in the coupon area, discount area. That way you can save some money on this, just in case you're interested in getting it. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. That way I can bring more of these lights from Lumintop to you in the future. Thanks for watching. Take care.